Hi, hello, and welcome to LearnStroke IAS classes by Arjun. You are listening to the exam code, which is basically strategies for you to rewire your preparation. So, let me in this session, the class 6, you can actually check out the important topic that is being flashing on the screen. It's a big mistake that we are discussing. What is a big mistake for all the UPSC aspirants that they commit this mistake is you only study your favorite subject. That is a big mistake. So, is that a mistake at all? There are a lot of subjects to study and you always study your favorite subject. So, why is that a mistake? We have to find out in today's video. And let's go. And before you go, make sure that I hope you have all downloaded the LearnStroke IAS app from the Play Store and watch the free videos. And also, if you check out the Kickstart IAS, India's first IAS masterclass for beginners, and do subscribe all our important courses like offline, online, study, mentoring plan, super mentoring plan, and the prelims test series, etc. So right away going into the session, here we go. Why do people study your own favorite subject? So favorite subject, I'm not generalizing it, but there is one thing that you need to understand here. Favorite subject, you know that there are a lot of subjects for civil services, and the most important pillars, let me mark the most important pillars being, say, history, geography and polity, economy, environment, science and tech, and many other micro subjects like international relations, and even there is ethics, Indian society. You have different subjects like Indian society, internal security, disaster management. So it goes on. There are many subjects like this. But the biggest problem here, you can just check out here. Imagine that whether you are a graduate in a subject or not is different. Imagine that you are a doctor. You are a doctor. So by default, science will be a subject that you already know. So you will have a good liking for environment. Definitely you will have a liking for environment, some areas, and definitely science and technology maybe. But then you might be an engineer. So the point here is, everybody, irrespective of the subjects that you learn in life, you will be having certain likings for subjects. Like you are an engineer, and out of the subjects that we are seeing on the screen, you feel that you have a great interest towards law or constitutional or polity. So you already like Indian polity, and whenever you read newspapers, take out the magazines, you are very keen observer of the important news relating to the polity, governance, constitution. Every day there are a lot of articles that comes from constitution. So you are absolutely in love with that. You really like it. But on the other hand, from your school, from your little childhood, you have a strong distaste towards history. You do not like history at all. Maybe because you do not like it since from a very small age you hate it. Geography, it is okay. You have some idea. You can even learn it. But you do not like economics at all. So history and economics, you have a strong distaste. That means you do not like it. Why? Because you don't like it. So what happens is, when you start your preparation, you will automatically have a tendency to read polity more. And whenever you sit to study, you immediately take up the polity book and you start reading polity. And whenever there is an opportunity to read history, you postpone it. History we'll read after some time. Economy we'll read after some time. So what happens is, from the subjects that is being given on the screen, every aspirant, you know what the aspirant does? The aspirant indirectly, mentally, you actually divide the subjects into 3 important zones. And the zone number 1, zone number 2, and zone number 3. And zone number 1 is your comfort zone. And zone number 2 is the average, the moderate. You can call it the moderate zone, where you will take an effort. And third zone is something which you don't like, your distaste, or you don't like it, not interested, or not interested zone. So what happens is, immediately after preparing the subjects, this is your brain. Imagine that your brain is going to be like this. within 2 to 3 months, you know what will happen? Within 2 to 3 months, you will start learning all the subjects and you will slowly put all the subjects in this 3 zone. Some of the subject will be in zone 1, zone 2 and zone 3. It is very, very common, very normal for all the aspirants to put all this like this. But what is the biggest drawback of this? The biggest drawback is this: there will be a lot of subject inside the comfort zone, and some subject which your, like the example that we discussed, your favorite subject is Indian polity, but you might include geography in the moderate zone. You are ready to learn geography, but in the not interested zone, you have which all subject? You have history and economics. So the problem is, after some time, your polity information, the content that you know in your comfort zones will be more. But the problem is, civil services is one such subject, where one such examination where you need to know your basics in all the subjects. You need to know the basics in all the subjects. That is what is called as balance. This is what I'm trying to draw here. You need to have that balance in reading all the subjects, or else you know what will happen. Say that, imagine that this is, take an example. Take an example. So this is actually a beaker of a glass of water. I have actually trying to draw 5 major glasses, and in the, what will happen is, in first 2 bottles, and you can just see first 2 bottles, more than 90% of the glass is filled. But in the other glasses, you can check that only 10% of the content is filled. Only 10% of the content is filled. So there is already an imbalance coming out here. So why is it very important? Because UPSC examination, the most important thing that you should notice is, in every year's exam, 100 questions come from the prelims examination, and in the GS mains 1, 2, 3 and 4, you do not know in what proportion is the questions asked. You do not know. So what happens is, say imagine 100 questions, and sometimes you can see that majority, say 20-25 questions will be dominated by polity. So if you like the subject, that year is going to be your paper. And sometimes you already learn geography. Sometimes the question paper will be dominated by geography. Then this paper is your paper. But what if that paper was dominated by history and economics? Then that paper is not your paper at all, because that is not your area. So this is a big time mistake that I've seen all the UPSC aspirants committing this. And so, humble suggestion to all of you: don't ignore the subjects. You know, it is when you're preparing for the UPSC exam, when you're preparing for the UPSC civil service examination, you cannot choose. You can choose and take an optional subject that you like, but for the general studies, give equal importance to all the subjects, or else you know what will happen? You will definitely have an imbalance. That is the biggest problem. And if you have that imbalance, your marks in the prelims will actually come down. So you may not clear the mains prelims examination, and even you do this, definitely in the mains examination your mark will come down. So even if you go for the interview, you will not be able to make it to the final selection. So at least for 1 year, humble suggestion to all of you: fall in love or accommodate yourself to learn the syllabus. Whatever subjects, whether it is international relations or internal security or disaster management, you don't even like it, start learning it. Start giving equal importance, so that you don't become too rigid in your preparation, because you should be very open. So that is very important to all the aspirants. So keep your mind open, have a balance in life, have a balance in preparation, study all the subjects. So I think do check out our courses, and do subscribe the YouTube channel, and keep listening. There are more videos coming like this, and share it with your UPSC preparing friends. Share it with all of them. Let's create a learning revolution. Thank you.